All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for getting on with us tonight. I am so freaking pumped up about this Zoom. I think it is going to be incredible. If you don't know who I am, my name is Courtney Wazalowski. I'm a double diamond out of North Carolina. I've been in the business. It'll be 3 years in like 2 weeks, which is nuts. And I joined because I was broker than broke and living paycheck to almost paycheck. I was over $15,000 of credit card debt and struggling, depressed, anxiety up the wall, just like crazy lifestyle. Fast forward to now, I'm completely debt free, retired at 24. I was 23 when I retired. And now I'm planning my dream wedding because of this business. So I'm so excited about our guest speaker. You can see my fiance in the back. I am so excited about our guest speaker tonight, Katrina. She is incredible. She joined this business now like 60 days ago, but she went diamond 51 days after joining the company. So if you are on and you're like, hi, I want to bring in $2,000 a month and get a $10,000 bonus 51 days after I join, you need to go get a notebook, go get a pen, and you're going to write down every dang thing she says, and you're going to do it. So, Katrina, if you could introduce yourself, give us your story, tell us about you, and then we'll get started.
Okay. Hey y'all, I am Katrina. So I'm like super nervous right now. I've obviously never done something like this. So I'll try not to like blab too much. So I actually joined It Works 2 years ago for the first time. I was in the business for about 6 months. I like posted like every couple days, didn't have the best leader, didn't really know what I was doing. Then I went to an event in Nashville and I went executive after like 6 months of being in the business. And then I was like, you know what? I made my extra $100 a month. I started nursing school. I was just like, I don't have time for this. I was like almost failing out of nursing school. So I just kind of like dropped it. It wasn't a big deal. And then I messaged Allie. Me and my husband bought a house in January. And I messaged Allie Antonacci. If you don't know who she is, she's an Ambassador Diamond. And I messaged her and I was like, hey, I think I'm going to get back with It Works whenever I graduate. I graduate in May. We just bought a house, went from a $500 rent payment to a $1,000 mortgage payment. And I know I'm going to be like working at the hospital, but I don't want to work myself to death as a nurse. And she was like, okay, like, sounds good. Why are you waiting till May? And I was like, well, I'm just in my last semester of nursing school. I don't really have time for it right now. Yeah. And she didn't really push me. She was like, okay. Well, then the $20 codes came out and she messaged me and she was like, hey, she was like, you have to join my team right now. It's only $20. And so I was like making a bunch of excuses or whatever. And she was like, what's holding you back? And I was like, I honestly don't know. And I was like, I just feel like I don't have the time for it. And she was like, well, she was like, I feel like you can make the time. Like, stop watching TV, stop like scrolling on Facebook unnecessarily. Like you can make the time for it. And she was like, and even if you feel like you can't, then just wait till May and then start working. So I was like, okay, whatever. I have nothing to lose. I'm going to get $100 worth of product for $20. And I've been like dying to try the keto coffee and I just didn't have the money for it. So I got like a keto coffee pack and I just like, I don't know, something just felt different. So I like talked to my very best friend about it, Jenna. She's on the Zoom right now. And I was like, hey, like I'm doing this. Like I want you to do it with me. Let's see if we can make some extra money. Because like we had to really budget our money where we were having a $500 extra dollars going to our mortgage payment. Right. So it was like no eating out, no like getting my hair done, no shopping, no doing any of that. And so I was like, I don't want to live like that. Like, especially even if it is for the next 3 months until I graduate, I don't want to live like that. So I like told my best friend, I was like, she's like $30,000 in student debt. So I was like, let's do this and see if we can make some extra money. I told my other best friend, I was like, hey, she just had a baby. And I was like, you could use some extra money. So I got them on it. And then I just like caught the vision and ran.
Okay. So I have to ask, because I know some people on here are thinking, they're like, okay, so you asked your friends, but most people are probably thinking, okay, but she probably has better friends than I do, or she's probably not afraid to ask. Were you ever nervous to ask your friends about it? Were you nervous of them saying no? Were you nervous that they would like laugh at you?
Yeah, of course I was. But I just like, if one of my friends laughed at me for anything I did, especially they were like my two very best friends, like in the entire world, I'd go with them at anything. Like if they laughed at me, like I'd probably just punch them in the face or something.
Right.
So I just told them, I was like, listen, like whatever. I mean, I know we're going to get $100 worth of product. So like worst case scenario, we're getting, like, even now that it's $100, worst case scenario, you're getting your money back in products.
Right. Okay. Perfect. I love that. I love how there are so many different stories in the business that you caught the vision immediately, even though this was like your second time back and you ran, because I didn't really catch the vision until almost 2 years in the business. So it was almost 2 years exactly until then I made the decision and caught the vision, and then 8 months later I was a double. So it can go very, very fast once you make that decision. So I am so excited for you. I know that you are like rounding the corner on double. It's going to happen like this month. I'm so freaking pumped for you. It's going to be so much fun. So do you want me to ask you questions first, or do you want to ask me questions? It's totally
you can ask me questions first, then I'll ask you.
Deal. Okay. So the number one question that I got from my team is, what are your daily tasks? What are your non-negotiable things that you do every day?
Okay. So I wake up every morning. My team is probably so tired of hearing this because they hear it so much. I wake up every morning and I have Ali Antonacci has told me you have to stop thinking about your dreams as dreams and start thinking about your dreams as they're already done. So every morning I woke up, y'all, and it sounds crazy. When I was getting ready in the morning, I would say, I am a diamond. I would say, I am a loyal customer signing machine. Customers are flooding my inbox. My team is killing it. My team is all rubies. And I just said stuff like that every day. And then I would find an inspirational quote on Pinterest and I would post that. And then I work mostly off Facebook. And so I make sure I'm putting up 2 product and 2 opportunity posts every day, along with my lifestyle post, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I put up if I'm studying or my dogs or whatever. And then I just flood my story all throughout the day. I make it where whenever you touch it, new stuff pops up or the picture changes to a different before and after. So that's I do that every day. That's I die if I don't do that. And then I am interacting with people on Facebook, and I try to interact with especially interact with people who have already showed interest in a product. I will make sure to go and like their stuff and comment on their stuff, especially if they ignored my last message. Right. And then I'm adding new friends on Facebook and Instagram. I am following up with people every single day. I know a lot of people don't they only follow up on Fridays, but no, if you have already shown interest in my product, I'm going to follow up with you basically every day or every other day. I am following people, interacting with people. I think that's it. I make sure to put up a couple polls every day, and then I try and once a week I put up an interaction post, and it could just be something as simple as where do you take your dog to get groomed? I actually really need to know that. So that would make a great interaction post for this next week. Or today I put up, I actually stole this from one of my distributors who put it up last week. But she got
your towel thing. I thought it was genius. If it's your towel thing.
Yeah. I stole it from her, and it's just a poll, and it says, how often do you change your towel that you used to dry off with? And then I put every time I use it and every few times. And I've had 92 votes and 12 comments. And my distributor, Nicole Rowan, put that up 3 weeks ago. And me and my best friend Jenna got in a huge argument because I was I tried to find whenever it starts to stink. And she's that's absolutely disgusting.
It's so funny. I do interaction posts like that too, but a lot of my friends are into makeup. So I'm oh, what's your favorite mascara? Or what's your go-to foundation or whatever? And y'all, people want to give you their opinion. Whatever the heck their opinion's on, they just want to give you their opinion. They just want to talk. They want to tell you about what they think. Okay, so you do your affirmations every single day. You post 2 product posts, 2 opportunity posts, plus your life. Interact, grow your network, follow up every day. And what you post on your stories all the time. So do you do polls? Do you do swipe up? Do you do react? How do you do your stories? And where do you find them?
I do, I find most of my pictures for my stories either off other people's stories or on our team page, or on Pinterest. Mm-hmm. Pinterest has all kinds of stuff that you could download, or I literally will go to a top leaders thing and I'll just screenshot their story. And people say that it loses quality, and I mean it takes extra time because you have to crop it out and stuff like that, but I mean, if their story's really cute, it's worth it to me, and I don't think it loses that much quality.
Side note, there's an app called Instant Stories that you can just search the person and you just press save and it just downloads.
What's it called?
Instant Stories.
Instant.
I tell my team to use that all the time. I recommend making your own stories and like having your face in it too, but for like the really cute stories, just go do that and then it saves it in the same quality.
Yeah. But I definitely use polls.
Okay.
And a lot of my team have told me that like people will accidentally vote on their poll. And so when they go message them, people will be like either not replying or saying like they didn't mean to. But like to me, that's fine because like I'm getting in their inbox, which means they're going to see my post more often.
Yep.
And like, I'm like, they already have saw my poll. Like I already know they're looking at my stuff.
Right. And here's the deal. When you get into somebody's inbox, the algorithm of how Facebook and Instagram works is when you're in somebody's inbox, they will see your posts more. And chances are if you message them, they're going to go to your page, which is the same thing as like I send out happy birthday messages every day. Do people care if I actually send my happy birthday message? Probably not, because they're like, who the heck is Courtney? But when I send them a message, they are just going to like click on my picture. Yes, love. It's just staring. I don't know what he wants. Okay, so what are you doing to stay? Do you do host to post at all or no?
Yes.
Okay. How do you do your host to post?
So there's like a couple different ways. It honestly kind of just depends what I'm feeling. Our team does like a giveaway every month, and like all you have to do is like pay $5 and you can like use the giveaway. So last month it was an Apple Watch. This month it's like $250 Visa gift cards. So I just Venmo our leader $5 and then I just post on my Facebook like I'll be like, who wants $250 and on a Visa gift card? And like comment below if you do. And so then everyone that like comments on that, I'll message them. I'll just be like, hey, thanks for commenting about my giveaway. All you have to do is put up a post for me. Are you cool with that?
Okay. Yeah, I do a lot of that too. Do you message for host to post as well or no?
Yeah, so sometimes I greenlight message, like if I feel like if today I put up that about the $250 gift card, I'm not going to put it up again tomorrow, so I will just like greenlight message. So that's just like going to your messenger and like clicking on the middle button, and it's like everyone who's currently online, and I just say, hey girl, I have a favor to ask of you, no purchase necessary. Or like if I feel like they don't, like they are newer on my friends list, like I'll just say, hey, I have a question.
Awesome.
And, yeah.
Okay. And how are you staying organized with host to post?
Well, I am like the least organized person ever.
Okay.
So I obviously have it on my timeline where like you can't like see that I'm tagged in it. So I have to like approve it.
Okay.
So I just like go to where people have tagged me in something. I just scroll down through there and like look at the comments. And I mean, where I'm tagged in it, I still get a notification if someone comments on it. So then I immediately add that person and I reply to the comment. I say, hey, I just added you. As soon as I get added back, I'll message you.
Okay. So you message right away. You let them add you first.
Yes, because at first I was just messaging them and it was going in message request.
Okay.
Having any luck.
Right. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, see, I message them right away. I haven't really run into an issue, but I'm a firm believer in, like, you got to do what works for you. So that is why I always tell people, like, you can say what I say, but it might not be what will work for you. So just take bits and pieces and be willing to try different things. I always say a lot of this business is trial and error. A lot of it is like, okay, that didn't work. Let's try this. So if something doesn't work, don't be like, I'm doomed for life, because that's not true. Okay, so I've been getting a bunch of messages. What are you doing to follow up with your distributors and like your potentials, and how are you getting them to sign?
Okay, so I have a notebook full of potential distributors and customers.
Okay.
So like anytime anyone's interested, I write them down, and then it's like so satisfying to get them crossed off my list. So I don't do like a follow-up Friday. I just follow up with them like every other day, basically, until whenever I click on their message and it's just like me, then I'll be like, okay, I'm going to give them a week off or something. But I just like message them, and I'm normally like, so I say like, hey, are you still interested in losing weight? Hey, are you still trying to grow your hair out? like, I just basically asked them, like, if they're still interested in whatever we were talking about. And, like, 60% of the time, they're like, yeah, I'm still trying to lose, like, yeah, I still want to lose some weight.
Yeah.
And then, like, the other half the time, they just don't respond. And so then if they, like, if it's all me and, like, they're not replying to me anymore, I just make sure to go interact with them, like, every couple days. And then I messaged everyone last Friday, and I just said, Happy Friday.
I love that. So it's not always in their inbox about the business or about the products. It's just, like, interacting. Like, you message them a couple times. If they ignore you, it's not like you're like, I'm doomed. You just go and interact and get their feedback in a different way. Love that. Okay. Do you have a specific way that you feel like works best for you to get your loyal customers and distributors, or is it just kind of a mix of everything?
Honestly, it's just posting.
Okay.
And going live. Going live is, like, such a game changer, I feel like. And I was on a Zoom. You were on a Zoom with Allie the other day, and you said, like, I don't know how you said it, but it was like, whatever you feel most uncomfortable with is what's going to take you to the next level.
Yes.
And so, like, now I'm going to make myself go live, like, at least every couple days, because, like, I hated it. But, like, every time I go live, I get at least one potential something.
Yes, I tell people that all the time. Like, the number one thing you're afraid of is the number one thing you need to do, because that's what's going to take you from point A to point B. And I don't know if you're a God person, but if you guys are God people, if you feel God being like, go live, or like, put this on your story, do it. Every single time I feel him telling me to go live, someone signs up. Every single time. So listen to your intuition, because God's trying to help you out. He's trying to hook a girl up, okay? Just let him. How are you training your new distributors?
How am I training them?
Mm-hmm.
So it's been, like, super hard, because I am, like, kind of new, and then, like, I literally signed my 2 best friends, like, the day after I signed. So we have, like, a team page, and it has units on it.
Okay.
I don't know, like, if you know anything about that, but it's really great. So, like, it just has, like, unit 1, and it says, like, welcome to the team.
Okay.
Unit 2, like, this is what you need to, like, you need to go watch your training videos. And then it's like, unit 3, this is a good sample post for your first post.
Okay.
So I, like, message whenever I get a new distributor, I tell them, like, download the It Works Connect app, watch your training videos.
Okay.
I add them to, like, our group messages, and then I send them their first sample post, and I say, put this up immediately. And it's crazy how many people don't do that.
Mm-hmm. So do you get discouraged, or have you ever had a distributor that signs up and isn't working, or, like, isn't doing what?
Girl, I think right now I currently sit at 104 distributors under me, and I can tell you, like, probably 60 of them aren't working.
Right. Okay, so I was just saying that because so many times I hear from my team, other teams, like, oh my gosh, I sent a distributor and they won't even put up the post that I sent them or whatever. And I just want everyone to know, like, that's so normal. It happens all the time. You're not doing anything wrong. It's just the business. Some people will get in and get super overwhelmed and scared and be like, no thanks. Some people take a little bit. Hi, I was almost 2 years until I actually listened to my enroller. So, like, just do what you're doing.
And that's what I tell everyone is, like, especially, like, one of my distributors is, like, gets real discouraged because she feels like not a lot of people are on her team working. And I would just say, like, listen, the more people you bring in, you're going to find someone who wants it. You're going to find a runner. And so, like, just keep bringing them in. And eventually someone will bloom. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, like, especially, like, getting your close friends is probably, like, I think it's easier because, like, my best friends, like, I can be like, listen, you're not posting. Why? Whereas, like, a random stranger that I, like, got off of Facebook, I can't, like, necessarily do that to them.
Yeah, for sure. So are you having them starting doing host to post right away?
So I normally have them put up, like, their own, like, welcome post. But I was on a Zoom the other day where, like, they said the first post they have the distributor put up is saying, like, me and my friend Katrina are looking for, and I really like the idea. I've only tried it with, like, 2 distributors, I think. So I don't really know, like, what's going to work for me.
Yeah.
But up to this point, I've just been having them post, like, I post, you know?
Okay, perfect. And then the last question that I have for you, and if you guys have questions for her, I threw out the Zoom, put them in the chat. We'll go through those questions at the end. How are you, when you were in promotion season, which is what I call it, promotion month, whatever, how are you working with your team for the promotion? What were you telling them? How were you encouraging them? How did you get them all like, game on, let's make this happen? You picked your people, like not you picked your people, but like you had your emerald and rubies that you needed and you were running with them. How did you get it all like, team, let's run?
Well, it was like kind of hard because my team did grow so quickly. I didn't know who was going to work and who didn't. My two best friends were obviously like on my top line. Mm-hmm. And so like, I knew I could make them work basically. So they were definitely going to be like my emerald and ruby.
Right.
And so I just started there. And then like, as they were signing people, I'd be like, who do you think is working here? Who's already reposting? Who is already like getting people? And we just kind of took it from there and like, and I don't make it about yourself. Like, y'all, I joined this business to go Ruby. I joined this business to make $500 extra a month. So I like never made it about myself. And even to this day, like, you know, me going double would be great, but like, I would prefer like every person on my team to be diamond. Like how crazy would that be if like my two best friends get a $10,000 bonus this month? Like, I don't need 2 diamonds to go double, but that's what I'm pushing for, is for both them to go diamond.
Right.
So like, stop making about yourself and like tell them like, what would this $10,000 bonus do for you?
Yeah.
What would $2,000 a month do for you?
Yeah. That's what I always tell people too, is like, when you're in a promotion, like, take it off of yourself and ask, like, talk to your team and say like, hey, what would this do for your life? If I handed you this much money, what would it do for you? What would it, and then work from there. You can't just be like, all right, let's work. Because that doesn't work. People want to feel like a person. They are not just a box. They're not just whatever. So make sure you're having that personal relationship and things will go much further. So that's all I have for you from my team. Team, if you have any other questions, put them in the chat and we will go from there. But I'm ready for your questions.
Okay. So what do you feel like got you to double?
What got me to double? It was a lot of consistency. I think it is very easy to hit a good stride and then something happens and to just be like, over it, or to have those days where you're like, gosh, I'm just tired. I just don't want to do anything or whatever it is. And Denise Walsh once said, work based off of what you want, not how you feel. And that's what I try to do every single day. I make a list every single day of what I want to do, which is very simple. It's basically the exact same list as yours, just so that I know no matter what, I'm doing those things. And it was, I will tell you, I promoted to double. Probably 80% of it came in from me because I made that decision that I was going to make it happen. So I was at the point and in the mindset of, I'm going to do whatever the heck it takes to make this happen. So when I woke up on the 25th of the month and I still needed over 6,000 BV and 3,000 on the last day, many people could have quit or been like, nope, we'll go for it next month. And that is not my mindset, because I was so certain and so dead set on having that promotion happen. And in my head, it was already done, that it was not a matter of, can this happen? It was, what else can I do to make this happen? So I think the best things that helped me get to where I am and where I'm going to go is the consistency and the belief. I think those two together will take you so far.
So, like you said, you needed 3,000 volume on the last day of the month. How'd you get that?
I prayed a lot. And I did more follow-ups that day than I've ever done in my entire life. I called in favors from family and friends. I worked with my team and I did little contests and to help people and showed them what to do and send this message, try this. And I was very hands-on and wasn't just like, we'll see what happens. It was, I'm going to do whatever it takes. So I kind of did whatever the heck it took.
Okay. So let me go back. how do you find potential little customers?
I do host to post all the dang time. I send 50 to 100 minimum host to post messages a day. The message that's been working best for me is just very simple. Can I ask you something? Not even, hey girl, not hope your day's good, not any of that. Just, can I ask you something? And I have been getting probably 20 up a day at least. I've signed 7 customers already this month from host to post. That's all it is. And I've been upselling them quite a bit. So they've been very high volume orders, but 99.9% of my customers come from host to post. The other 0.1% comes from my stories and posts, but most of it comes from host to post.
So, like you say, can I ask you something? They say, yeah. Then you say, will you put up a post for me? Mm-hmm. And what post are you using? Are you using like one or multiple or?
I use only hair, skin, and nails. So I do something very simple, and it just says, my friend Courtney is looking for 5 hair growth models. If you're wanting to grow your hair out, drop a comment and she'll message you the details. That's all I do. And then I just have 3 little messages. The first one is like, hey, I saw your comment. You wanted to grow your hair out. They say yes. Second one is explaining the hair growth, like what hair, skin, nails is. And then I say, does that sound good? They say yes. And then I tell them the price. Once they say yes to that, I get all of their information, and because I want to place their order because I trust myself. And it's very, very simple. Everything's in text replacement, and I don't really have to think about conversations, which is great.
Do you care to like put that in the text or in the chat? Thanks. So how are you sealing the deal with these people?
As far as customers?
Yes.
I would say I'm just very confident, and I go into every conversation assuming that every single person is going to. Like, I don't really think of it like, oh, I hope they answer, or I hope they're going to say yes, or I hope it's not too expensive, or whatever. I go into every single dang conversation assuming they're like, heck yes, give me all of that. And that is how I've upsold too, is so once I get their information, so I'll put my scripts are right in the chat, and it's so simple, you guys. I would tell you, like, best choice, just go simple. Don't do anything crazy. Don't word vomit on people, because then they're just going to be like, get away from me, lady. And so after I get their information, and I'll put all that in here as I go, but after I get their information, I have everything set. I send them a voice message. And I say, okay, perfect, I'm about to place your order, but just a heads up, you do get to access my entire store for basically half off of everything. So I don't know if you're wanting to lose weight, get more energy, get clearer skin, healthier joints, better nutrition, or anything like that. But I'd be happy to put together a little package for you if you'd like. 99% of the time, they're going to be like, heck yeah, I want to lose some weight. What do you have? Then what I do is I go through the most common products. So for weight loss, I say, oh my gosh, you are going to love all these products. I'm going to tell you my faves. And you have to do a voice message because this is where the excitement goes through. And I say, okay, so my number one thing is our keto coffee. It's seriously thebomb.com. It's going to boost your metabolism, give you crazy energy without the jitters, burn some fat. You're going to feel amazing. Side note, you're probably going to hate other coffee after this. We have ThermoFight X, which has a clinically proven ingredient to lose 30 pounds in 90 days. We have fat fighters, whatever, go on and on and on. And then I say, did any of those like turn on your light bulb? Or whatever you want to say, whatever sounds like you. They're going to tell you what they like. We have not talked about price yet at all. We don't bring up prices other than the hair, skin, and nails. When they tell you what you like, you're going to say, okay, sounds good. Give me a minute or so. I'm going to look at my site and see how cheap I can get it for you. So keyword cheap, how cheap I can get it for you. What you're going to do then, depending on what they like, you're going to look at your website, see if there is any sort of pack that can get them a good deal. Maybe you can put in the Mocha Dreams, whatever it is. And then I'm like, okay, I'm back. Like, don't be very like, okay, so for this, and this, it is this cost and have a great day. Like, I'm very me. I'm like, okay, so I'm back. I looked at my website. I can get it for, I say, okay, so it retails at this. But I was able to bring it down to this monthly. And if it's like a pack and say like, whatever, there's something like they get a cleanse, be like, I put a cleanse in there for free for you to try because I think you're going to love it. And then at the end of the 90 days with this pack, you will get this amount of gift cards. So perk points is what that is. So say their order is $100. I tell them, okay, and then at the end of the 90 days, I'm going to give you a $30 gift card to use towards your next purchase. Does this work? Literally 99% of the time they say yes. I had someone yesterday, or was it yesterday? Yesterday or the day before, that started as a 30 BB hair, skin, nails, ended up at 175 because of this. And looking at her profile, I would not assume she even had the money for hair, skin, and nails. But I went into the conversation like, this girl's about to buy everything for me. And she basically did. So that is what's been helping me. Do I send pictures with my host post? I do not. What I do is after like 3 days, if they have like 1 comment or 2 comments, I'll go back and say like, oh, I have 2 spots left, or I have 1 spot left, or whatever. If they got no comments after a day or 2, I will go because I have personal results from the hair, skin, and nails, this is where personal results come in handy. And I put this in there and I'm like, these are my personal results from 1 month with the hair, skin, and nails. So I don't do pictures with my host to post. Can I explain perk points some more? Yeah. So perk points, you get 10% back of perk points. So if your order is, if they're getting hair, skin, and nails, so it's a $33 order, they have 3.3 perk points, which equals $3.30. So it's just 10% of whatever the order total is how many perk points they get per month if they're auto ship. So you just add it up. So I always just say move the decimal 1, and then that's how many perk points they have. And
then like after like what, their 6 months they get $50, and then after a year they get like 100.
Yep, something like that. So after their 2nd month, or like 2 weeks before their 3rd month, there's like some time that I do it. I don't know, it's in my calendar. It's like, I think it's like 6 weeks from the day they order. So whatever, that would be 2 weeks before their last order. I let them know, and I'm like, hey girl, like your last orders, or like your final shipment's gonna happen. Just wanted to let you know, because I'm assuming I've talked to them. I know you're loving this. Just wanted to let you know if you wanted to do another 90-day challenge with this product, or do a 90-day challenge with something else, I'll give you an extra $50 gift card towards your next purchase. And people are like, oh sweet, heck yeah. Like, people do that all the time. The script I say about my whole store being 50% off, I don't have a script because I voice message that. But I can say it again if that helps. Go ahead. Any other questions?
How are you getting people to like trust you on social media? Like random people.
So I am very vulnerable. I share my story. I share myself. I share everything. So like people see me all dolled up with my hair and makeup done, but they also see me looking like I just rolled out of bed. Like they know they've seen my struggles. They see my high points. They see a lot of different things. And I share to my Facebook and my Instagram like I would to my best friend, because that lets them feel like they're part of my life. So like when I got engaged, I had so many messages about like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. Like Matthew's wonderful, whatever. And like, I've never met these people. I've never talked to them. I've never messaged with them, anything, but they feel like they know me and they're part of my life and they know, or whatever. Like I get messages all the time about like our pugs or things like that. Or like people tag me all the time in pug things or ice cream things. Cause like, that's my life is Matthew, pugs, and ice cream. Like that's all I do. So like, I'm just very me. And I never try to be somebody else, which is why, not that scripts are bad, but like when you copy and paste posts, if you don't edit them to sound like you, or you never create your own posts, people aren't going to trust you, because they can tell, like, and especially if they've seen it on someone else's wall, like they're like, the heck, like you have to make yours stand out and look like you, sound like you, and just be you.
Okay, I think that, how often do you follow up with people? I think that's it.
So I'm not very organized. I do every Friday, obviously, but then also like, if I see someone, I'm like, oh, they were supposed to like order 6 months ago, then I go back then, like if I see their name. but I also do in my phone calendar, like if someone tells me that they're supposed to order this day or like check back in a couple weeks, like I put it in my phone calendar. But I am quite possibly the worst organized person as far as that. It's one of my things to work on for sure.
And then for your host to post, you said you just like message them and like ask them to put a post, or you say, hey, can I ask you something? That's all you do to get us to post?
Yeah. So I message between 50 to 100 a day at least, and I just say, can I ask you something? And I can put my scripts in there for that too. It's so simple. I just send that message, and with saying that, so many people say yes. So many people, like, they don't even think anything of it. A lot of times they're like, yeah, what's up? Like, what do you want from me? I do not have them tag me in host to posts. I don't know if this might be too long. Oh, it worked. Sweet deal. So I don't have them tag me. So what I do is I have them put the post up, let me know when it's up, and then I go and I save it to my collections and turn on notifications. And that's how I have mine organized as far as host to post. But yeah, by sending like 50 to 100 messages a day, I mean, I've signed 7 customers this month. So like something's working.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just a matter of, and one thing that I always want to get through people's head, and like not in a mean way or like a boss way or anything like that, but if you have a goal and you have a promotion you want to hit or an income limit you want to reach or whatever it is, you can do it on your own. So if you use the excuse of, oh, my team's not working, or oh, no one orders from me, or oh, this or that, or this or that, okay? Here's what I'm going to tell you. When I promoted to Emerald, neither of my rubies, I think combined between the two of them, brought in 3 customers for the entire ruby or Emerald promotion. So it's not that you do not, like, this is, if you are going for a promotion, you need to take control, and this is your promotion. Yes, you need to be training people. Yes, you need to be working with them, but don't let that stop you. And the second thing, like, what are you speaking over? If you're every single day, like, no one's answering me, no one's buying from me, my team isn't posting, my team won't do what I tell them to do. First off, you are not in charge of your team. You are not their boss. You are not there to boss them around, tell them what to do, tell them what they have to do. You are there to show them, and if they want to learn from you, great. If not, great. So if you're working for promoting and you feel like you haven't hit it yet, or you're still like, what the heck is missing? Check your work ethic and check your attitude, because most likely one of those two isn't right. One of those two is not good, and that's what's keeping you from your promotion. Let's see.
Sorry, I'm writing all that down because it was so good.
Oh my gosh. I'm going through the messages. If anyone has any other questions, put them in the chat. Advice on how to follow up with people that have showed interest. I think we went over that. Best for upsell, we went over that. I just got really confused because I saw my message that said, can I ask you something? I was like, yeah, someone can ask me something. What's up? And I'm like, oh, my message to myself. Got it. What I say about the whole store being half off, I just say after I get all the info, I say, okay, perfect. So before I place this order, I just want to let you know you do have access to my entire store where basically everything is half off. So I don't know if you're looking to like lose any weight, tone up any skin, get more energy, clear up your like whatever, like list off a couple different things and be like, or all of the above, but I'd love to put together a package for you, and then just kind of go from there and let them know, like, let them tell you what they like, let them tell you what they're interested in, and then go from there.
Yeah. And I was going to say, like, for upselling, I do something kind of different. Whenever someone's, like, trying, say they're, like, ordering the cleanse, obviously I ask them, hey, I know you want to order this cleanse. Are you just looking to, like, reset your body and like get rid of toxins, or are you looking to actually lose some weight? And like I would say like actually 80% of the time they're like, lose some weight. And so then I always say, okay, well, I'm going to ask you a couple questions to see like what other products we can pair with this. And like same, like if they're buying like Thermophyte or Fat Fighters or whatever it may be. And then I always ask them, do you drink coffee? Do you exercise or walk a lot? do you eat enough fruits and veggies? Do you eat a lot of carbs or do you eat unhealthy? And I think I'm missing one. I don't know what it would be. But, and like normally they're like, you know, if they're walking at all during the day, like Thermophyte's going to help them. If they're eating like unhealthy or a lot of carbs, that's going to be fat fighters. If they're not eating enough veggies, like we have our greens. So
Yeah.
I just like kind of use whatever they tell me off that. And I'm like, okay, well, like let's add these 3 things. And I was like, I can bundle it up and get you like a discount. And then I just like add it all together and tell them how much it's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's huge. It's like, and that's kind of the same thing with like, listen to what they're interested in. Listen to what they're wanting, what they're needing. If someone's like, yeah, I want to lose weight, but they don't like coffee, don't sell them coffee. If they like want to grow their hair out, don't sell them a cleanse and be like, oh yeah, this will help. Like, listen to what they're wanting. Listen to them. Just a different Thermophyte pills made their heart race. Most likely they were drinking a lot of coffee or soda or energy drinks or something like that, and then because the Thermophyte X has caffeine in it, it was overload. So it is not the Thermophyte X that's going to make your heart race. I have heart issues and I take Thermophyte X and I'm totally fine, and I drink a cup of coffee or keto coffee every day. But if they are doing multiple different caffeine sources a lot, that is probably why. Or if they are someone that works out and they're using pre-workout and Thermophyte X, don't do it. Let's see. Any other questions? Okay.
So I have a question for you, but it probably won't apply to anyone else.
That's fine.
So how do you not get overwhelmed when I look at this double chart and not like break down?
I remember feeling like that at every single chart. The first time I looked at a ruby chart, I wanted to die. The first time I looked at an emerald chart, I wanted to die. Specifically, I remember double. Double was the scariest thing in the entire world. Remember, I went double when it was about double that because it was...
Yeah, with all the executive legs.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and extra 400s and all of that good stuff. But my number one thing for any promotion is break it down. Break it down. So if you're looking at a double chart, don't have this big thing. Take your diamond chart here and then do an emerald chart. Don't have it all together. Have just your separate one and look at it that way. And if you ever want a dose of reality, look at the next chart, and then you'll look at yours and you'll be like, this is nothing. It's great. Triple is terrifying, but plus is even worse. So I'm like, you just have to, and just know, like, the harder the promotion is because there's more money coming. They're not going to pay you for double. They're not going to pay you $5,000 a month to be like, all right, go high five 5 people, and guess what? You're double diamond. Like, you have to work for it, and it's just like that with every promotion. But I promise you, the promotions are so worth it. Lose that sleep. Do those extra messages. Do those extra affirmations. Do whatever it is you need to do, because I promise you, when you get those checks in, which you haven't even seen your first diamond check yet.
I am like going to be...
You're going to die.
I don't even know. Like, especially with the bonus on top of it, I'm just going to...
When I got my first double checked, I just about fainted. I was like, I don't think this is real money. I think it's Monopoly. Like, I don't know what's happening, but it's not real. Like, ain't no way.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah, you'll cry. Your first... Oh, my God.
Yeah, okay. I, like, bawled my eyes out when I went diamond. And my husband, so, like, I told you guys that I say, like, I am diamond. Like, I said it every day. So, like, I told my husband, I was like, I am diamond. And he was like, are we still just playing this game where we say it? Are you really diamond?
Are we really doing it? Are we just doing affirmations? Where are we? So, yeah, but you guys, like, it's so important that she, like, acted as if diamond was done. So that's what you were thinking the whole month is, like, I'm diamond. It's like, so that's what you have to do with, if you're going for double, if you're going for diamond, if you're going for ruby, if you're going for a 400 box, your first 4 customers, whatever the heck it is, you need to act as though it's done. You need to act as though there's no way in the world it's not going to happen. It's just like, if I were to ask you right now, are you going to eat something tomorrow? You'd be like, obviously. That's how you should feel about your promotion. Like, obviously, what the heck? Why would you even ask me that? Like, yes, I'm going to promote. That's stupid. So, like, be so set in it, and, like, if you figure out what it is. Okay, here's the other thing that this isn't off topic, but I'm just going to assume everyone on this Zoom is going to promote because I say so. When you are in promotion, you're up against something big coming for your life, okay? Be prepared of multiple things. One, be prepared that the world is going to try to turn against you, your fridge is going to break, your dog is going to run away, not actually, like, so crazy things are going to happen, okay? Like, crazy things, and, like, you're going to lose your keys, or, like, your phone's going to die, and, like, I remember when I went Diamond, iMessages and Facebook Messenger, if you remember back, I don't even know what month it was, I think June, where there was like 4 hours where Facebook Messenger and iMessage didn't work. Hi, yep, that was month end as I was trying to close out Diamond. So bad things or like weird things are going to try to get you out of your mindset, but be prepared for that to happen so that when it comes, like, laugh at it and be like, like, you're going to try to stop me? Like, not today. Like, be prepared for that. Second, know that you're not going to be riding on a high where you're like, yes, let's do this every single day. There'll be some days where you want to throw your phone across the room and you're like, I don't want to look at eSuite for the rest of my life. Okay? You're going to have moments like that. But in those moments, accept that that's how you're feeling, but then figure out what you need to do to move past it. Because if you just sit there in that moment of like, I can't do it, I don't want to look at eSuite, or like this leg isn't working, or this or that, or this or that, you're not going to get where you need to go. So you need to accept how you're feeling and then figure out what you can do. So like for me, it's music. Music can get me out of my mood. So like figure out what it is you need to do and then move on. Like make sure to get yourself out of the bad mood, because if you don't, it's not going to be good. Any other questions? And if you don't feel like they apply to everyone, that's okay. You can ask us random questions. It's okay.
Okay, well, I have another question.
Okay.
So if you feel like you have, let's just say you have like an emerald chart and you have like 2 rubies, but like 1 ruby's not working, do you just like do all the work for that ruby, or like how do you go, or do you like try and find another one to take over that, or like make your, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. No, I get your question. Back in the day when I was promoting, I always say like back in the day, like I'm like some old grandma. When I promoted, every single promotion spot needed a promotion spot under them. So it's the same thing. Like, okay, if I was going ruby, if my executive wasn't working, what would I do? If I was going, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal. It truly depends on where your volume lays. And if like, okay, so if that ruby has 3 workers under her, yeah, you're going to fill that in. You're going to make sure she's commission qualified. You're going to run with it. But if that ruby is not working and her distributors aren't working, don't build it, because it's not going to sustain. So it's a lot easier to build a new one. If you're going to build it on your own, you might as well just get another distributor and build it that way. But if the ruby itself is not working that great, but the people under her are, build it. But it really depends on how it looks.
Okay. Yeah, so, that answered.
Because I mean that's something a lot of people deal with too, is like for Ruby right now, like if you need 3 distributors and you're like, okay, these 2 distributors are working, this one isn't, but if she has 100 volume, get another distributor, stack it under there, and give that new distributor the volume. Eventually she'll take over, but don't waste volume. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do you predict your volume at the beginning of the month, like what you already have versus what you still need? If you go to TreeViewer and click show loyal customers, it takes a little bit, but you can add up every single loyal customer. It's a pain in the butt, but it's the most accurate way to do it. You can add up like all the future auto shipments. Or if your team isn't too big yet, you can go to reports, additional reports, downline auto shipments, and it'll show you all the auto shipments coming up for the next 30 days. But when you get a team that's large, don't do that. It's very overwhelming. Any other questions?
So for like all of my team are all $20 people.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't know like what $100 business builder kit even is or how to sell it. So do you have any tips for like transitioning from the $20 to the $100?
Yeah, and this is something that I'm glad you brought it up because a lot of my team are $20 people too, and that's, first off, you guys are the luckiest people in the entire world, okay? Here are the things I'm going to tell you. 1, I promoted to Diamond with every single kit being $99. So don't get it in your head that people will only join if it's $20. Don't devalue the kit that it's not worth the $100 because it is. This business and what it can do for people is worth the $100 and more. When I joined, I didn't have $100. I over maxed out a credit card to join because I needed something. So know the value in what this business can do. They're getting $100 worth of products, and just don't talk to someone like, hey, so it's $100 to join, but you get products, you're eligible for a $100 shopping spree, and you're eligible for this, that, and that. No, here's what you do. You message people, and I do a ton of voice messaging. You can voice message on Facebook and Instagram. You're like, okay, so here's the deal, because people always say like, oh, how much is it to start? Okay, here's the deal. So it's only $100 to join. You get right away that much of products, so you can double your money. You can get a $100 shopping spree. You're eligible for unlimited $100 weekly bonuses. I got 3 last week. Like, be yourself, and then you're eligible for this, that, and that. And then be like, you got the $100 to start, or should I check back when you get paid? So that way, people won't feel awkward if they're like, I have $2 in my bank account. People don't want to admit they're broke, but a lot of people are broke these days. Like, hi, I was broke for a very long time. There's nothing to be ashamed of, but there's way up. So just know the value in what this business can do, and know the value. Don't devalue it. Don't devalue yourself. Don't devalue any of it, because, I mean, I personally, I'm sure Katrina, you're the same. I would pay $100 over and over again for this business. And this business, yes, the money's great, but there's so much more to it. Some people would join just for the friendships you get from the business or the confidence. I am not the same person as I was when I joined. Like, you would not find me dead on a Zoom. Like, no way. So, like, there are so many things in the business that will come for you. So don't let that scare you. Because it's only going to be an issue if you tell yourself, like, oh, no one's going to join for $99. It's not true. It ain't true. It's not true.
So something I'll throw in there about that is, like, Allie told me, like, a little thing, like a little trick. So whenever people are like, oh, I don't get paid till next Friday, can you check back then? Or, like, you ask them whenever they get paid and they say Friday. So instead of, like, making an event or however you do it, like, put it in your phone, remind yourself, however you keep up with that, instead of doing that, say, okay, that's great. If you want, just go ahead and send me your information, and I'll put, like, a pre-order in for you, and that way it'll ship out and run on Friday. And I was like, oh, we can pre-order? And she was like, no, you just write down their information on a notepad, and then when Friday comes around, you put it in.
Yeah.
You already have it. So that's, like, a really good idea. And that I've done that, like, 4 times now, and it's, like, changed the game.
Yeah, because people, like, in that moment, they're excited, but if you check back in 4 days, they're like, oh, like, how many of you are at the store and you buy $100 worth of stuff and you leave and you're like, really shouldn't have bought that, but Target did it again. Like, that's impulse. But, like, get the info when people are wanting it. But, like, then again, if they message you Thursday and they're like, oh, please don't process it, don't actually process it. Like, don't be rude. But it is, yeah, I do the same thing. Someone has tried the products before. Could I sign them up to no longer get products from anyone? Yes, they will need to call customer service to cancel out their old account or use a new email.
I just have everybody use a new email. I'm like, just make a new one.
Yeah, I mean,
easier than staying on hold.
Yeah, I mean, technically, they're supposed to cancel their old account, and it might get canceled out anyways if they see it. But, like, yeah, just use a new email. And for distributors too, they can't upgrade from their lower customer account. Otherwise, they can just make a new email. Anything else This was awesome. Thank you so much for getting on and for sharing all your goodness. I cannot wait to see you promote to double. I want you to message me after this, and I want you to like show me your chart and figure out what you need, and we're gonna make it happen. So
Okay, I will. I have to. I actually asked like Taylor Mitchell, who's on here, because she's like pushing for double too, and I asked her, I was like, how do I figure out like my volume that I need? Is there any way like easier than just going through TreeViewer? And she was like, nope. So I'm like, that's my next task. It's gonna be so fun.
It's annoying, but it's so worth it once, because then you have like a peace of mind of like knowing what's going to be where. So yeah, thank you guys so much for getting on. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or Katrina and we'll answer them. But I am so excited to see so many promotions coming this month. Like, guys, momentum is here. So do not like, don't let it pass you by. Take it. It's okay if you're afraid, but like, just do it. Just run for it, because I promise you, I'm sure Katrina was scared at the beginning of the month, but she ain't scared now because she got a $10,000 bonus. Okay.
Yeah, I did not even know that I was Ruby at the beginning of the month. Like I hit Ruby at the end of whatever month that was, February. Yeah. I hit Ruby on like the last day of the month of February, and then I was like, okay, I'll go Emerald this month. In March, like I didn't know I was gonna go Diamond, and then it just like Allie was like, "You're going Diamond." I'm like, "I don't think I can go from Ruby to Diamond. Like you're being dramatic right now." And she's like, "No, it's happening."
Yeah. Do you know? And okay, you don't have to show this if you don't want to. Do you know how much your volume increased from February to March?
Girl, I was at minimum for Ruby. I think I was at like 2,200, and I ended my month with almost 11,000 volume. I have enough to maintain Diamond. Yeah.
Okay, that's crazy. So right there, she increased 9,000 in a month. So ain't nobody on here better tell either of us they can't get the volume to go Diamond this month. Okay. You just need to want it and decide you're going to do it, and then you run, okay? That's the deal.
Yes. Yeah.
In 6 days, I got 6,000 BV, okay? So don't you dare tell me you can't do it, because you can. You just got to decide, and you got to run. So I'm so excited. I'm pumped up. I'm going to be up working all night. So hope you guys have a great night, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you for having